Hi there, my name is Christine and we're talking about singing with Christine. So we're going to start off first by introducing myself and what I do. I teach the art and science of singing. I graduated from the Museum Diploma School, majored in singing, and have been singing for professionally since 2010. Or before then, actually been singing for a very long time. From my secondary school days, I was in Lagos State Choir, and then went on to join the Laze Kweme Choir and the Museum Festival Choir. Then in 2010, I got professional tutoring in singing with the Museum School, Diploma School of Music, and my teacher then was Mr. Ngokedi. So, with all I've learned in singing, I would like to share some of the knowledge with you and knock off some of the misconceptions that we've actually gotten along the way. So for today, let's get right into it. We'll be talking about proper breathing technique for singing. Okay, stay tuned. So we'll start by what is proper breathing for singing. The way we breathe when singing is different from the way we breathe when talking. Of course, that makes sense, right? When we breathe for talking, it's involuntary action. But for singing, it's more deliberate. The goal at hand should be for singing. And why is it important to get the proper breathing technique for singing? One, for breath support. I'm going to get into that in details, but just skimming through the advantages of proper breathing technique for singing. One, for breath support. Two, for the proper descent of the larynx. Three, for proper opening of the laryngeal space. Four, for proper execution of the phrases. And of course, the most important thing is, we all know, is the foundation of singing. So let's get right into it, what breathing is. I do not have a balloon with me. I would have loved to use that as an illustration. With this lockdown, it's hard to get some things. So we all know how a balloon is, right? Yeah. So imagine you have a balloon and you fill in that balloon with water. What happens? The balloon gets filled from the bottom to the top. Let's relate that to the human anatomy. We have the thoracic cavity, the abdominal cavity, the nasal cavity. So basically, for breathing, of course, we need the nasal cavity. It's very important because we're talking about the larynx, proper descent of the larynx, and then the pharyngeal space, and then the abdominal cavity is very important because of the position of your diaphragm. I'm going to post a diagram on my Zoom for those interested. I have a Zoom class for Intro to Proper Singing with Christy. So, and it's very affordable. I would advise you to join the class. Very, very affordable, very, very educative, and you'll get to learn a lot from it. So, back to the abdominal cavity. For singing, we use the diaphragm descends just as the balloon descends. Note, the diaphragm is a muscle that runs beneath the lungs, and it goes all the way to the back. Now, when they say breathe in, the wrong thing to imagine to happen is your tummy shooting out like this. I don't know if you can see, like this. They go. No, that is not for singing. The descent of the balloon, when you feel it, going back to the illustration, with water. This is your diaphragm in rest position. Imagine this is the balloon, this is the diaphragm. And once you breathe in, it goes down. Now, if you keep on breathing, it does not mean the diaphragm is going down. There's a limit to which the diaphragm, of course, can go down. And does not mean that your abdomen should protrude. Going to the illustration of the balloon, imagine this is the balloon, you fill it with water, and you pinch it in front. There is no pressure, it's just you pinching it in front. Now, do the opposite. Squeeze the balloon from underneath. Squeeze, like breath support. There's an expansion of the lungs. We breathe with our lungs and not with our abdomen. We breathe with our lungs and not with our abdomen. And of course, the lungs is inside of the rib cage. The rib cage guides the lungs. So let's get to what proper breathing is now. So we start by exhaling with a powerful sound. We'll do that for 10 counts for you to see. Now, bear in mind that what we're looking at for, I want you to place your hands on your ribs, your forefingers in front, then your thumb, of course, should feel the back this way of your ribs as you're breathing out with this exaggerated hissing sound. Bear in mind, as you're breathing out, it expands to create space. That's the space that will be filled with air when you're breathing in. So when you breathe out like this, try it, you see, your lungs expands. It actually expands to create space. You can only feel an empty glass, not an already full glass. So you need to get the air out, and in getting the air out, it creates that space for expansion of your diaphragm for proper breath support. Now, the next thing I want you to bear in mind as you do that, let's do that again. So for 10 counts, go. You feel the space at the back of your throat. That's the larynx descending down. Please, everything you do, pressure here, but no pressure here. So when you exhale, you feel the space, your larynx down, then you breathe in with your nose. For this exercise, breathe in with your nose, like inhaling a sweet fragrance. Two things happen. Your larynx further goes down and your lungs further expands. So once your larynx goes down, but after you inhale, there will be space at the pharynx. I'll give a more extensive description of the larynx, how to feel for the larynx and the pharyngeal space and the expansion of the lungs in the next lesson. But for now, I would like for you to practice this exercise. Start getting used to the sensation of your larynx going down. More like it'll be when you breathe out, like there's a space at the back of your throat. It's all about the larynx, baby. It's all about the larynx. So till we meet again, I'm Christine, teaching on Singing with Christine, and we'll talk more about the breathing in the next class. Ciao.